Let's get into it.
Hello, stranger. It's been a minute since we last kicked it. And by the way, just got in town, and I won't let cumulus clouds all in the sky ruin my vibe. And usually I don't do this.
Happy New Year! 2026, baby. I am so happy to be here. Cheers. You like my new intro? Tell me. You know I do everything myself. So if you do not like this new intro, today might not be the best day to tell me because it took quite some work to do this thing. So if you don't like it, keep it to yourself. But honestly, me, I love my intro, guys. If you're new to our family, welcome. You'll love it here. And if you've been with me from the beginning or you've been with me for some time, thank you very much for supporting me and hanging out with me in this little corner of the internet. Now tell me, how did you ring in the new year? Were you happy? Were you sad? Share with us in the comments, guys. I already am busy with my new vision board. So for this year, what I want to do is grow our family, of course, grow this channel. But I also would like to help other upcoming or aspiring YouTubers. I would like to help them. Just crack the code and join the fam. Now, how I have to do this, how I have to do the one-on-ones, what to charge, what to do. Guys, I'm figuring it out. And you know me, I am going to figure it out. If you hear something jiggling, it's the ice cubes. So, upcoming YouTubers, I want to help them. And then, of course, one of the goals of this year is going live more. Now, you know that is a challenge for me. Why is it a challenge, Deb? I don't know. I really don't know. I am so afraid to go live, sit there with two people and don't know what to say. I really don't. Let me not bore you with this. But drop in the comments, what are some of your New Year's resolutions? Do you think that's a bunch of bullshit and nobody ever follows through? Put it all in the comments, guys. And let me know if you're happy to see me. Because I was planning to stay off for a week, but I can't stay away from you guys. I just can't. And you know, Monday I'm going back to work or whatever, so hectic. But I just had to hang out. Now, let's leave all of that. Intro, New Year's resolutions, whatever. Because that's not why you clicked on this video.
Unfiltered.
I thought, what better way to bring in this new year with our favorite case study? You've been in my comments telling me, Debs, have you seen all these interviews that are going on? Like, I don't hear you talk about this. Have you seen? Are you going to refute this girl? What are you going to do? I am waiting for something better. Something bigger. I'm going to make it do what it do, but the interviews that I see, they miss. I can already hear you guys in my ear. What do they miss, Debs? Mess? Drama? It's not that, but they miss certain questions that I think are very important for a case study. You know what it is? I am waiting for some more interviews. You know, you did one with Tamara Hall, and there's some others. I'm not going to say yet, but there are some interviews coming our way. And I know that in these interviews, the questions are going to be asked. I need to hear questions like, are you afraid that Laterras is going to cheat on your ass? Those type of questions I need to hear. What do you think about his whole persona? What do you think about people calling you a SS Atkins 1.0? Like all these messy, these questions that we really want to hear. That's what I want to hear. Not this performance and put this in the notebook and ask this and ask that. You know, with Laterras orchestrating the whole thing. I need the real meat and potatoes of the things that we want to know. And of course, we want to know what's with the money. What's with the 150,000 split? What's going on? We want to know it all. And I'm waiting for this interview. So guys, sit back because in a week or two, I'll make a compilation. Now for the people that click on this video, PSA, you already know you're here. That means either you love it here. Secondly, you're messy as hell. Or thirdly, you're nosy and you just want to send me to hell again or whatever. Now, if it's the third one, I don't know. You better get on the boat or get off the boat and swim your ass to shore. Like, we are on a case study. I wholeheartedly believe that Laterras, his family, his in-laws, they're watching our videos. At least they're watching mine. I am convinced, guys, that some of the videos reached Laterras. And not only mine, that of other creators too. And you will soon hear why I say this. Now, Laterras and Ashley are currently on a world tour to promote his book, The Student of Love. They are going from country to country, city to city, back to back interviews. The girl is tired. She didn't even unpack a suitcase, guys. This is her words, not mine. They are going at it. This book needs to be sold because you already know they spent $150,000 on the wedding. If you see that ring, oh!
Now, Laterras showed off his ring, so we got to see yours as well. It's a beauty. It is and there's special meaning in there as well, right?
Yeah, it's a lot. The prongs are being held up by 2 W's on each side. So it's a W on one side for my last name, a W for her last name, her maiden name, Woods. It's 31 rubies inside the band of the ring, representing the Proverbs 31 woman, saying that she's more precious than rubies.
So you see, all that money needs to be, because we kind of see that Laterras is a little bit stingy. A little, you can't, Laterras, please, this is no secret. You are a little bit stingy. You are. And your stinginess confirms it to me. When I heard Ashley talking about that whole Tiffany thing that you did for her.
When did that shift happen? When did, the friend, the host of this podcast, where he's been trying to find this wifey for a while, become like, oh, you know what? This man is my man.
Yeah. On my birthday.
Okay.
I do.
When's your birthday?
March 31st.
You better stop. Not even 2 weeks later.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And my birthday, March 29th.
Okay.
Yeah.
After church, he left church. He called me and he said, what are you doing today? Do you have time to go to Tiffany's? And I said, well, Tiffany's. Okay, yeah, I can go to Tiffany's.
Absolutely. I have time for Tiffany's.
I have time for Tiffany's. So I went to Tiffany's. He told me to get my phone out and to make sure that I recorded it. I walked in and he had put a necklace on hold. It was the open, what is it called?
Open heart.
The open heart necklace. And he had written a letter, because I guess the necklace, the point of it is to fill your heart with all of the things that, he wanted to pour into our relationship. And so then he told me how much the necklace cost. And he said, listen, I'm not into tricking off money on women.
Yeah. And so I understand your perspective.
I ain't got time to be waiting. I work hard for this money.
Right.
I ain't out here just making it rain.
Right.
Now, Laterras, I understand that you have a feeling like, listen, I want to know if this is real or not. Otherwise, to spend all this money on a necklace, I don't want to ask for it back. I understand. But Laterras, you are really with the money. Now, some might say he's a good steward of the finances, Deb. I just call it, I don't know. So listen, I told you they are looking at our videos. And the first sign that confirmed for me that they were looking at our videos on this channel is this.
It's 2:30 in the morning. I'm in my studio working. Fell asleep, took a quick little nap, woke up, and started thinking about this conversation I had 2 days ago in DC while I was doing press for my upcoming book, Student of Love. And I'm going to be very transparent with you. So I'm going to say business associate number 1 and business associate number 2. Business associate number 1 said, gosh, you just got married, had this big wedding, just got back from your honeymoon, and you're out promoting your book. Wow, you got to be extremely tired. I don't see how you do it. Business associate number 2 says, I told him he should wait to have gotten married after the release of his book. I know it'll be a lot on him. Wait to get married after the release of his book. I just think that we have this screwed up ideology about the value of marriage. We think that we're supposed to complete these career goals and then get married afterwards. And that's why marriage rates in the African-American community are struggling. If you really understood the value that the spouse brings into your life, you would reverse that. Go get Student of Love right now. Go pre-order this book.
Now, Laterras, you have this whole scenario, business partner 1 and business partner 2. Now, if you ask me, I don't think neither one of them exists. There is no business partner 1. There is no business partner 2. No. You curated this story. Guys, it is the beginning of the year. I'm not negative at all. Hear me out. Focus. I think you curated this whole story because you wanted to explain to us why you dragging this girl across the globe while she is in marital bliss and just want to sit down, have babies, and be domestic. And you came up with this. business partner one said this, business partner two said, and but you're basically talking to us. That's how I feel. I'm sorry. I was waiting for the day, the 31st, that they had their first, ever interview together on the yellow couch. Now, this interview is heavily curated because this interview is conducted by none other than Dr. Love, his therapist. Remember the one that he quoted in the Ebony magazine saying that, she kind of persuaded him to get married? Now, if you ask me, I think it's a very good idea to have a therapist orchestrate that whole interview. But we already know Laterras. He likes to control these things and the questions and whatever. And guys, listen, one of the first things that came out of his mouth, I was like, yes, he is in this.
I'm going to just rip off the Band-Aid and ask the question that everybody's asking. Girl, how was the sex?
Guys, I don't know if it's me. Tell me if this is me. But have you ever wondered what sex is like with Laterras? I don't think not one person on this entire globe asked themselves, how is Laterras actually in the bedroom? I don't think. But you know what I think? I think, Laterras, that you want us to hear how you are in the bedroom. And I think you also want us to hear how Ashley is in the bedroom and that it's, all nice and fine and dandy. That's what I think. So you put the question there in that notebook of Dr. Love. Ask this. Ask it. So that we can hear. You are such a peculiar guy, Laterras. I don't know. But put it in the comments if this is far-fetched. Now, I also wanted to get your ass together, Dr. Love, with all due respect, because I was like, what type of question is that? But you then later, I think, explained, I saw that in a TikTok clip or whatever, why this is a biblical question. So I don't know what the explanation is. I am going to listen to that explanation with the fam. Now, guys, I want to do this a little bit different. We focus on Laterras quite a lot. I want to focus on Ashley, because we haven't been really hard on Ashley, but we were kind of asking her, like, girl, what's going on? Where is your discernment? Now, I think it's only fair to now listen to what she has to say and see, guys, if this might change our opinion. Let's watch.
What started as a search for understanding became a journey of transformation. Every letter that I wrote led me to this day, the day I got married. November the 22nd, 2025. Dear my forever.
Forever is a long time. That's how long I'll love you. Those lyrics echo through every fiber of my soul at the very thought of you.
This journey has culminated with you as both the award and the reward of my pursuit of love. You are the award, the honor God placed before me, the recognition of growth, healing, and becoming the man I needed to be.
And you are the reward, the blessing given after endurance, the gift promised to those who refuse to faint.
This isn't just our story. This is for all of us. I'm Laterras Whitfield.
And I'm Ashley R. Whitfield.
Welcome to the Dear Future Wifey podcast. I'm your host, Laterras Whitfield. Listen, are you still shacking up with us? If you're still shacking up with us, come on, can we get a commitment? This is season 11. What are you doing? Make a commitment and subscribe. I'm so excited to be kicking off season 11. Welcome to the Dear Future Wifey podcast. My new co-host, Ashley R. Whitfield. How you doing, Queen?
I'm amazing. I'm so happy to be here with you, baby.
Are you nervous?
Now, right off the bat, guys, they look good together. They coordinated their little colors, sitting on the yellow couch. I think it's a little bit brighter, the yellow and everything. I like it. They do look good together. Clothing and everything. We have to be honest, guys. We have to be honest.
A little bit.
A little bit. See, Ashley, she's not the type that wants the public spotlight. And so y'all give her grace. This is going to be an amazing episode. And, we're on the yellow couch. I want to first introduce the moderator of this conversation, the person that will be the only person sitting in that new white chair that we have. This is my personal therapist and our pre-engagement therapist, as well as going to be our marriage counselor, Love McPherson.
A lot of people misread your performance, and I did too. I was one of those skeptics before I knew you and everything. I was also one of them thinking, this can't be real, because then he still got dear future wifey up on the board, and he should have, he'll have to end this podcast. Who's going to end their career to get married? This is just, so I was one of the skeptics, so I understand that.
And I'm glad you were transparent with me saying that sometimes that can look performative. It's not. It's me showing my heart. Now, if I was some basic dude that didn't, I was like, I just mediocre. I don't do anything in my life mediocre.
Now, I got to stop you there, Laterras, because suddenly it came into my mind. You see why I'm saying, guys, he's looking at our videos. He just wanted to make sure that he put it in the interview. Yeah, it could seem performative. Oh, my God. And now this Dr. Love is pretending like it's her question. We all think that he's very performative, very staged. I mean, he majored in theater. So, I mean, that is what he does. But to give it a little context and be like, I was like that from ever since an early age or whatever. Okay, all right.
Whether it's my mom, my kids, or even my wife now, Ashley, about making it in a form of excellence. Everything I do is going to be in the spirit of excellence to the best of my ability. And so that shows up in every area of my life.
I love that you gave the audience that. Performance can have a negative kind of tone
exactly.
too. But also a lot of the things that we master come straight out of our traumas.
My whole point is not performance at all. It's me meeting the need of that person. And so I'm just a person that, heck, I wrote a book called Student of Love. I study people.
You know my question, Laterras. If you study people and that is your skill, why didn't you study your ex-wife? Why didn't you study her instead of sleeping with all these multiple women? That's what I don't get. Because you were studying other women, all right. But I'm going to be nice, Laterras. It's 2026. It's a new year.
I grew up very middle class. I grew up in Altadena, which is a very middle-class neighborhood with a lot of Black families. And I went to private school. I did have a single mom, but she was Superwoman, and she somehow made it feel like we belonged in spaces and circles that, were only literally because of God. So I never lacked. I was an only grandchild. My Christmases were really special. Our holidays were spent together as family, and I had a very, very positive upbringing. I was very involved in church and dance and a lot of other kind of extracurricular activities. So I grew up involved in the community.
Hold on, Dr. Love. I think that Ashley is very articulate. It's a beautiful woman. Very articulate, very poised, like she knows her things. As we could hear in the previous clips that I put into the video, she's an Aries, and one thing I do know, because I'm an Aries myself, there are no pushovers. So I think that we might have been, I don't know if we've been too hard on the girl, but you know that little note with the call me and the whatever pick me should think. I cannot stand for that, but I can see that she's a well put together woman, and
Was there anything that you felt that shaped you and maybe shaped some of your challenges as a single woman?
Absolutely. My mom is very independent. So I was taught to be incredibly independent. I'm a go-getter by nature, and definitely a perfectionist. And so I think that really fares well when you're doing work and in business.
Yep.
I think that it can be challenging in a relationship, especially once you get to a certain place in life where, in my late 30s. So even things like, getting a new air conditioning installed were different, because I was like, wait, I know how to do this. I got my whole house remodeled alone. And so having a helpmate was an interesting experience for me, because there was some relinquishing of control that had to happen.
Did you need to, was control an issue with you?
I think so. I think that...
Why? Because control, actually the foundation of control is fear. What did you fear?
I think when you buy a house and you start to kind of take care of yourself, and then you have employees that are relying on you, you start to feel that weight. And so for me, the control factor was always trying to put myself in a position where everyone who relied on me would be able to count on me, right? I never like to say, if I tell you, like, I'm hiring you and you're going to get paid, oh, you're going to get paid. If I take on a mortgage, oh, that mortgage is going to get paid. I just have always felt an obligation or responsibility to be a good steward over the things that God gives me. And so I think the control and fear comes from being very calculated about the things that I say yes to, whether it's a car note.
All right, Ashley, you're very calculated to the things you said yes to. You didn't really calculate this thing with Laterras, but this might work out fine. This might be a beautiful union. Who am I to say? Now, guys, we are going to switch it up because, as you can tell, it's getting darker and darker in this house. I tried to put on several lights. I didn't calculate this. I started off too late filming. So I'm going to put up the clips and I'm going to react in between. All right.
Myth is Ashley was this thirsty girl who kind of sought Laterras out because she was so busy looking for her husband. What is the truth about that? No, and I'm asking you because I will say, and I'm not going to give you the answer to that, but I will say from my perspective, that's probably the furthest from the truth.
It's the opposite.
And I was kind of really shocked that it wasn't the truth because I saw you like, if this don't work out, I don't care if your name is Laterras or whatever, deuces. And I saw you have the courage and the ability for it to be right so well until you would have walked away.
Yeah. Like I said, I want what God wants for me. And I wanted to make sure that this was that. I knew Laterras. He was one of my best friends. And I also didn't want to mess that up, right? Like I was like, oh man, he's been so influential in my life as a friend. And that's working. And right, I don't know if this other thing is going to work. And so I took my time. But the most important thing that I wanted to preserve was the friendship that we had. And I was worried, like, if this don't go well, do I lose that? Like now I don't have my friend. Like now, who am I praying with on Friday nights? I really wanted to hear from God.
Your story is that you were first friends and you saw each other.
Yes.
Now, you are a beautiful woman. So, of course, you've got options, okay? And Laterras saw how beautiful you were, too. And he was like, oh, yeah. Before you saw him, he saw you. So, Laterras, you want to talk about that?
So I was doing the podcast at Cali Worship, Warren Campbell and Erica Campbell's church, November the 26th of 2023. They had booked me to do the podcast. And after the podcast, I was in the sanctuary, greeting people. Then Ashley walked up and was like, hey, I really enjoyed the podcast. A couple of my friends have been on your podcast before. And I was like, oh, really? I grabbed her hand and started walking through the sanctuary, walked right into the lobby holding her hand. And I was like, oh my God, I grabbed this woman's hand. And I caught myself. I said, she could be here with a man. I don't know what made me do that. I've never done no mess like that before. So I was like, I just grabbed this woman's hand. So then I just tried to play it off. And I was like, so how are you doing? At first I thought she was young. I thought she was like 25. So I really thought it was awkward that I grabbed her hand because she looks young. And I was like, this old young girl, she probably the age of my daughter. Like, absolutely, this is not what I want. And then, but I just felt a connection, a drawing towards her.
Now, Laterras, this is not exactly how I remember this, because now you're making it all romantic. You grabbed her hand, you walked to the lobby. No, it wasn't like that. I missed one very important point here, and that is her slipping a note into your hand. This is written in black and white in Ebony magazine. She put a note in your hand and she said, call me. Now, Laterras, when you tell the story, I know you want to clean this up, guys. I know, because you have seen all the backlash on the internet. However, I need you to keep the same story. She slipped in that note, because I don't hear anything about a note. She slipped in that note, call me. Then you decided to take her hand and go to the lobby. If you do not believe me, watch my other videos. So I'm fine and well with the cleaning up, but let's call a thing a thing. All right?
So then when I called Ashley the next morning, I said, I'll be flying out. Is there any way I can see you, if only for 15 minutes? She said, well, I have a meeting that's around the downtown area, around, close around that time. Maybe we'll be able to see each other. I said, no, it's going to happen. Like, no, I don't want no maybe. I need to see you. And she was like, okay. So then she ended up calling me, and I was like, I'm on my way to the airport, dropping off my rental car at the rental car place. Can you meet me at the rental car place? And when we were in the car, she was talking to one of her friends, and she was telling the friend she's going to be out of pocket for the next couple of days because she was getting her eggs frozen. And I was like, So when she got off the call, because it was coming through the speakerphone in her car, I said, so you're getting your eggs frozen? She said, yeah. I said, what's making you decide to do that? She said, well, the doctor said, I'm 35 years old. So then she said, my doctor's telling me that pretty much freezing your eggs is an insurance policy. And I said, okay, cool. She said, well, the doctors see about 3 to 4 follicles, 3 or 4 eggs, and they want to see double because I'm spending all this money getting these eggs frozen. They want it to be worthwhile because quite a few eggs may die off or whatnot. And I said, okay, do you mind if I pray with you? She said, okay. I said, I'm gonna pray that God gives you double, that when you go to the doctor, they see double. She was like, okay. So then I prayed with her. The next day she called me. She said, you would not believe this. I said, what happened? She said, the doctor said, what happened in the last 24 hours? We see double. So when she called me and said that, I said, did I just pray for my future kids?
Oh God, Laterras, did I just pray for my future kids? And I knew this was going to be a story. I believe it. I believe it. But everything is, how can everything in someone's life have this Now listen, this sounds bad. Because when I say it like this, it sounds like I'm a hater, but I'm not. But how can every little thing have a story of 6,000 words behind it? I cannot believe this. Everything is a big, grandiose thing and story. It creeps me out. Like, if I was your friend, I would be like, oh, here he goes again. Oh my God, it's going to get a background story. And this is the performance we're talking about here. So cliche.
It was 2 moments, too, that she also wanted to clear up, is that when you're in the car, we've shared this before, whether it's New York Times or whatever, we've done been all kind of publications. What clarity would you want to bring about when you heard my voice on the Dear Future Wifey podcast?
Well, when I was driving on the freeway, I was listening to your podcast, and I knew that he carried the sound of my husband. I think someone said that I heard his voice and I knew he was my husband. I didn't know that. I knew that God, the way he sounded, what he was communicating, I heard his voice and I knew that was what my husband would sound like. Now, I was in LA and I knew he was in, somewhere else. I don't think I knew exactly where you were, but I was like, our paths don't cross. I'm never going to meet him. So I wasn't trying to find him on Instagram or tell him that, God told me he was the one. That very much wasn't what
because that would have turned me off. I would have ran for the hills.
You guys are made for each other. That I will say. I will say that. This Holy Spirit, I want to talk to him too. The one you are talking to, because this he's on point. Now, guys, can you believe it starts raining and it starts snowing, hailing and everything? Do you hear it in the background? Everything is going wrong. I might need to rest on Laterras a little bit because Laterras is sending the weather gods my way. My God.
So, we got to circle back around to that question. Girl, how was the sex?
Well.
And don't go into detail. Do not give me too much information.
I won't go into detail, but I am so happy.
Okay, that's enough said. And I assume that Brother Man over there to the right of you.
I'm happy. I'm happy. I'm happy. God did this big one.
Amen.
Laterras, you had to put the question in. And look at how Ashley said, I am so happy. I am so very happy. And here you go. I'm happy. He did his big one. I cannot with Laterras.
My surprise is just how God has literally graced my husband for me. I just moved to Dallas maybe a week and a half ago today when we're recording this. And I feel like there are all these things in this vision for the home that I thought I would have a chance to do as a wife. And I haven't done that, but he just... he gives me grace. We've been traveling together all over the world. I still have suitcases out. So in my mind, I would have all my suitcases together and I would have
she's very organized. She's a very organized person.
That's where I was going because she had already revealed that she's kind of a perfectionist.
Yes.
And so what I was going to ask is, but do you give yourself the same grace?
No. That's the reason why I said, why are you tripping? I mean, we come home and all the stuff is just, I said, so what? Like I said, look at what you're doing. You're doing interviews for the first time. Like we just did the Tamron Hall show last night. We did 2 shows in Houston. We did a show. She wasn't even supposed to be on Christian Bevere's podcast, Dear Future Husband. And in the middle of her interviewing me, she said, "And let's bring Ashley." I was like, "I'm not trying to come up there." I said, "Go ahead and come up here." She literally sat on the arm of the couch to do the interview. It was a chair. You know what I'm saying? And so and that's why I keep telling her, I was like, listen, I thank you for stepping outside of everything that, like, remember, love, because we can keep it real so people can hear this.
Yes.
She said, I don't want to do any of these public interviews. I'll be willing to be the co-host of Dear Future Wifey podcast, interviewing other people about their stuff. And I will only do one interview about talking about our personal life on Dear Future Wifey. But before this interview, we did about 3 or 4.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? But she's like, and this is where she shows me her heart. She said, I don't want the attention on your book. I don't want to take the attention. You are on here. This is your dream. And I don't want to take any attention from you and your book. And I said, and that's why I chose you.
While he said 3 or 4 interviews, I counted 6.
Oh yeah, because we did a lot. We did so much.
And so I went from saying we would do this one with you, love, to
New York Times. Yeah. We all in New York Times and stuff.
That's 7. So here we are doing way more than what I could have imagined. And here I am wanting to be at home, getting the house together, doing very domestic things.
Now, Ashley, I think it's very nice that you support your man, but obviously you're tired. I knew it. I'm glad that you said it. You want to be domestic. You want to sit in the house. You just want to unpack your suitcase. She's tired, Laterras. Go to this podcast by yourself. Why she has to come with you? Go. Oh, God. This is already pushing her boundaries. Don't do this. Even though she says yes and let me come. And don't push her boundaries like that, Laterras. She doesn't want to. Now, Ashley, I think it's very noble of you that you want him to shine and it's his book or whatever, but you better hold on to that book and promote that book because that money has to come your way. If people think you co-wrote that book, co-written the book or whatever, say yes. You're his wife now. The money has to go your way, sis. We are rooting for you. I don't know. Now, let's close with something sweet.
Give me just one good, I love you because.
I love you because your heart for Christ and your love for me and the love for my kids show me that I chose wisely the woman that has now taken my last name.
That was good. I could have given you a couple more. All right, go
Why
ahead.
did you make me go after?
Your vows, you went out there and you killed it.
I know. Oh my gosh. I love you because you're God's best for me, because you understand my heart and the intricacies of me that no other person has ever understood. And because you see me in ways that I don't even see myself.
Now, all right, guys, I apologize for, the quality of this video, but you hung out with your girl. Aren't you happy? I had fun with you. Do you now have a little soft spot for Laterras? Do you think differently about Ashley? Has it changed? Did it become worse? What you see? Let me know. Nice woman. Very well put together. I like her. For all my people in our study group, this is not the last video. And there will be a video coming soon. And I will put all my money on that we will get the proper answers so we can close this case study. Give your girl a hug. Thank you for being here. Happy New Year again. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.